give you a little bit of background on me and what brought me to this place with Unleash Your Rising. I ended up feeling that I had a book in me, but really not knowing how to get it out to people. And I didn't know where to start. I didn't know where to begin. So I just started to write my story. And it was going nowhere. I was writing the story for myself, really. And it had no structure. I wasn't sure where it was going. So I just kept asking, like, okay, where is this going? What am I meant to do? At the time, I was still working in corporate. I had ended up back in corporate after growing a business from $0 to $3 million in 3 years and walking away from it because I just felt like I was being drawn to something deeper and more meaningful in my life, and I didn't know what that was. So it took moving to Iowa in the middle of nowhere on a 600-acre farm to just grieve the loss of my 7-figure business. And when I did that, there's a story in my book about it, but it involved walking through 2 feet of snow and high-heel boots and a skirt with a 2-year-old in my arm and bags of groceries. About a half-mile drive away, right? So, yeah, I grieved. And the next day, I built a snowman and I made peace with the Iowa winter. So, and then finally, I had the opportunity to move to Northern California and took this great opportunity to manage this branch, and then 5 months later was laid off. So we ended up in Southern California, and I said, hey, I'm ready to write my book. There's just something calling me and pulling me to that. And so I started the process, and I had a friend call me and say, I have tickets to Oprah. Do you want to go? And of course, what would you say if you had tickets to Oprah? Well, yes, I'm there. When is it? Sign me up. So this girl who I'd really never met before in person, we just knew each other online. We ended up driving up to Oprah, and standing outside of Oprah, I met my book publishing coach. Some of you may know Patrick Snow. He's been in the industry, the publishing industry, for over 25 years. And that was like my, I guess, sign from God that it's time to really get clear on my book and what I'm sent here to do. So I went to Oprah. Tony Robbins was on stage and said, you came here to ask a question. What is that question? And we all, just closed our eyes and, the whole Tony Robbins thing. And he said, you came here to ask a question. What is it? And I said, the answer that came back was, quit your job, because I had gone back to corporate and we were just starting over. And so I said, well, I started arguing with my inner critic. Well, I can't quit my job. I can't do that. And it just kept coming back you've got to start writing your book. You've got to start coaching. I had over 23 years of business experience, and I knew I wanted to coach, and I knew that a book was a part of that. So I just believed and had faith that somehow it was going to work out, and within 3 months, to the surprise of my boss and her boss, the CEO of that company flew into town on a whim and laid me off, and in person. And so that was just really a sign for me. So I got really clear on my book and my vision for coaching and started coaching people on their business, doing life coaching. And then I became certified in that system that I was in to help people who are writing and publishing their books. So I started investing into other systems and programs, investing in masterminds to learn from people like Jack Canfield and all of these other amazing people who have been in the industry for a long time. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, what brought me to this point today.